Did you know that for this movie, director Mike Newell was not aware that Alan Rickman wore black contact lenses for the role of Snape until one day, when he was complimenting him on the amazing shade of his eyes, Rickman leaned over and popped one of the lenses out. So, The Goblet of Fire is that Harry Potter movie that starts to take that dark turn. For the most part, Goblet of Fire is a very different Harry Potter movie, mainly because this is when things really start to pick up with Voldemort and Harry. And I have 3 reasons why I love this movie, and my last reason is definitely my favorite. So, my first reason is I really like the maturity of this movie. I mean maturity in the ways of pretty much every way. Starting with the characters, they're all more mature teenagers now. There's a lot of maturity with the higher stakes of the movie, seeing as this movie is kind of like a game show. And I always wonder, whenever I'm watching this movie, it seems to me that not even Dumbledore really cares that he's putting all these children's lives at stakes. I mean, he said, oh, you know, people can die in this tournament. Well, if you know people can die in this tournament, why would you let it continue? This movie is definitely dark in a lot of ways. I do like the darkness of some of the games, and just there's a lot of unforeseen dangers. No one really knows what to expect. They just know that there's going to be danger. The darkest part of this movie is Voldemort's return. A little more adult content wise when it came to this side of the Harry Potter world, and also maturity when it comes to the emotional side of this movie. There's a lot of strong emotions in this movie. I said that from the maze scene all the way until the end of the movie, I would say has the highest emotional levels of the entire movie, just because you're invested in these characters, you want them to succeed. And as we all know what happens to Cedric Diggory. As dark as the scenes were in this movie, it is a wildly entertaining movie. You know, everyone loves competition. Everybody loves to cheer on their school, cheer on, you know, the person representing their school. And that's what makes this movie super engaging, is because as many times as you've seen this movie, you still want to be cheering for Harry. I just love watching people who are so dedicated and so passionate to what they do. It's always fun to see someone win. And lastly, my favorite part of this movie is the face-off between Harry and Voldemort. There's a lot of moments during this fight where Harry, you see him mature, you see him man up, you see him become unafraid, especially when Voldemort says, I want to see the light leave your eyes. In that moment, you see something in Harry, you see like something just switch in Harry. He becomes unafraid of death at that point. And it was just a really, really cool foreshadowing to how important this battle between Voldemort and Harry really is, and how they're connected. When Voldemort and Harry's wands connected, that scene is incredibly powerful, incredibly emotional. The music adds so much to it. I just love seeing the support that Harry gets from his parents and how they're so proud of him, so encouraging him and saying like he's ready. He's at that level now where he's not afraid of Voldemort, he's not afraid of death. You gotta just realize how this character development is just taking off, just how much Harry has changed in just a short amount of time going against Voldemort. I mean, he's all by himself. Cedric is dead, unfortunately, and all he's got is himself. He's always had his parents in his heart, but seeing his parents show up in that form is really what Harry needed in that moment. This scene is definitely one of my top favorite scenes out of all the Harry Potter movies. So if you haven't seen The Goblet of Fire in a while, I would highly encourage you to check it out. It's on HBO Max. So for The Goblet of Fire, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below which competition in this movie was your favorite. See you next time.